Hi, in this short introduction, I'll give you a quick rundown of how you can register your receipts with your company cards in MileageBook. If you have access to MileageBook Company Card, you will be able to download the app and log in with your credentials that you've received in your welcome email or the one that you received from your nearest manager. Once you log into the app the first time, it will start to synchronize all your details and set up the app accordingly to your specified details. Once you've downloaded it, you should be able to access your company card in the menu available here. Once you have the company card available, you'll be able to see all the transactions available to you. If you don't see the company card in the menu in the bottom, you may be able to find it under the bullet point for more. So that just means you have access to multiple products in MileageBook, and therefore there's no room for the company card in the bottom menu. But once you access your company card settings, you'll be able to see all your card transactions and all your expenses that you've had registered past. In this overview here, I see all the newest ones first, but let's change it a little bit so that we see the oldest ones first. The way we do that is simply by pressing on the funnel icon in the top right corner and then change the view of what we want to see. Here we can change for what we want to see that's ready for approval, something that's not been matched, and we want to see something that's, for instance, in a different approval status. We can change that as well to see all. And we can also change the period for instance, this month or the last 30 days, or if you want for a specific day or something. So in this case, we just want unlimited, and we want to see all the oldest ones sorted first. So here we go. Simply press OK. Once we change the filter, we'll be able to see everything that we want to do. Next thing is you'll note that there's a small red dot that appears on the funnel icon in the top right corner. This simply indicates that you've changed the filter from the standard filters to something custom that you prefer. This will also be remembered for the next time that you log into the app or open the app, so that your preferences will be remembered by the app. So it's simply just to notify you that you changed the filter a little bit. But here we go, we're able to see various transactions, and we're able to list through them and process them accordingly to what we need to do. So let's go ahead and register a receipt to one of our transactions. In this case, I've had an expense registered to something called the chocolate factory or shop. And here we can see that when we click on the transaction, we'll be able to see all the transaction details. We'll be able to delete the transaction or create a new expense matching to that transaction. So if we want to delete it, this could be, for instance, if the transaction got noted in the bank but never got fulfilled or registered or got canceled for some reason. In that sense, MileageBook is quick to pick it up, but you can always delete it here. If the bank, however, verifies the amount and the expense, you won't be able to delete the transaction, as it will return right away. So what we want to do is we want to create a new expense to this transaction. So simply click New Expense. And once we do that, we'll be able to see all the card transaction details and edit all the details that we need to do in order to make sure the registration is correct. So here we're able to see all the details from the company card transaction and things that's already been filled in. So for expense type, I can match it to multiple expense types. I have a set available on my account, but you may have other values available to you from your organization. If you're in doubt of which expense type to match, always ask your nearest manager or your bookkeeper if you're in doubt. So in this case, I'm just going to stick with this is a customer gift, and that is fine. I can also add a project if I have that. You may not have access to projects, but if you do, simply click it and then select your project that you want to add. You can also search for a project or simply add your favorites from the top. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I can also add a note. I can say this is a customer gift. Here we go. And there we go. We've added a note to the expense. And if you have any extra fields available, like I do, organizational unit or cost location, it may be because you have extra dimensions available to you on your account that your organization have set up for you, because your organization requires some extra details according to your expenses. This is not standard setup, but if you do, please note that these needs to be filled out accordingly to your company details. So always ask, if in doubt, your nearest manager what to fill in the required fields. So next and last thing is, of course, the receipt. Here we can go ahead and press add in the blue box, or we can simply press add receipt in the bottom of the screen here. If we go ahead and do that, we will be able to add a receipt to this transaction. Now here I have access to my camera on my app, and here I will be able to take a screenshot of my receipt by simply pressing the white button on my app. And what it says, it will simply just take a picture and at the same time also scan the words available to me on the receipt, so that the app knows which expense types and which details it should match this receipt to. So even though you filled in something, it may want to change it to something else because it knows some of the words on the receipt to be something else. I can also add photos from my gallery, or I can use the archives to add a receipt. But let's go ahead and simply just scan the receipt. And here I've now taken a photo. It's now available as an attachment to my transaction, and I'm now available to send it for approval. I can also press save in the top right corner, and then the transaction and the expense will be saved for later processing. If I do that, I'll have to deal with it again later. But let's go ahead and just submit for approval right away. And here we can see, please note that you cannot edit it once it's been submitted for approval. And that's simply because, once you've sent it for approval, your approver needs to review it and make sure everything is in order. So you won't be able to edit it after that, which is fine. I filled in everything that I need to do. I trust that everything is as it should be. So I simply press OK. Once I do that, it will start to process the receipt and submit for approval, and I'll be able to see that the full details and summary of my expense. Simply press close, and I won't be able to see this transaction anymore in my overview because I filtered it away. If I change the view to something where I see everything and all statuses and everything that's been already processed, I'll be able to see it in the list overview again. I hope this clarified some questions or gave you a good sense of feeling of how you can register your company card transactions and receipts to your company and quickly make sure that they're registered correctly. If you have any questions or if you have any doubts, feel free to reach out. Have a nice day.